Mr. Steinbeck, during the latest Deutschland-Test consumer study by renowned magazine Focus Money, Richard Wolf GmbH was crowned Digital Champion in the medical technology category. You are therefore the benchmark for the entire industry. So what is it that sets you apart from your competitors?
The
Deutschland-Test by Focus Money and the award they have bestowed on us confirms that we have embraced the challenges of digitization and, to be precise, have tackled them more actively than any other company in the German medical technology sector. The testers were also impressed that Richard Wolf has responded to these challenges with its own answers and solutions. What was looked at specifically during the test? First of all, the degree of digitization in the company in general. So, how high the proportion of processes is that are already computer-assisted. In parallel, they also analyzed how we work with the data that arises from these processes. For example, is it systematically recorded and evaluated? Also, do we use the power and clout of this data to gain new insights which make innovations and new products possible? How did the actual assessment work? The assessment was based on 2 surveys. Firstly, a comprehensive questionnaire, which covered the different aspects of digitization in the company. In the 5 thematic blocks, data, processes, work, communication and digital revolution, around 30 individual aspects were examined and assessed. These included, for example, how the number of IT specialists and investment in digitization is developing, which digital projects relating to corporate communications have already been implemented, the extent to which employees receive digital training, and how data protection and data security are handled. But it also covered the extent to which processes are managed using database algorithms and software, and whether industry-specific or cross-industry networks are used to share technology or knowledge. Your degree of digitization is therefore high, but where precisely do you think Richard Wolf best demonstrates this? According to the survey, we are particularly good in terms of communication with customers and stakeholders. This is something that came to light in the second part of the study in what is referred to as social listening. This involves using artificial intelligence to scan social media for relevant text fragments relating to Richard Wolf. We are also well placed in the work category. The digital expertise of our employees is high. We are overall more agile than others. It appears that Richard Wolf is well equipped for the digital future. It is indeed, but that's not the end of the matter. This award is extremely satisfying, but it's just a starting point. We must in no way be tempted into believing that the job is done. After all, the lightning-fast speed of progress is a typical trait of the digital revolution. Development isn't linear, it's exponential. Anyone who is caught sleeping or even just stands still briefly will straight away fall behind again. What's more, we are only a digital champion in Germany. In international comparisons, the assessment of the German economy with respect to its digitization process has received mixed results. As a group with a strong international focus and the greatest potential for growth abroad, this is something we should not forget. Does the overall score of 100 points suggest that there are hardly any areas where you can improve? It's good that you have touched upon this subject. Our score definitely should not be interpreted in this way. The company with the highest total number of points in each industry received a score of 100 and therefore set the benchmark. The other competitors were then ranked behind based on their total number of points. 100 points therefore does not mean that there is nothing to improve. The score simply means that we are ahead of everyone else. What can we do to continue to stay in front? The Hamburg Institute of International Economics, which is responsible for the methodology of the Focus Money Deutschland test, has advised us to keep an eye on the leading international companies in our industry in relation to their business models and technologies. This should help us to establish even stronger networks with science and therefore to keep our finger on the pulse. Mr. Steinbeck, thank you very much for this informative interview.
Richard Wolf. Spirit of Excellence.